stepping into a shadowy realm. Welcome to the Full-Grown Pizza Podcast, where mysteries linger and legends outlast. From cryptids to conspiracies, our questions are vast. Tonight, the Montauk Project is our broadcast. So settle in as the timelines collide. Truths and experiments where secrets reside. This is the podcast where the strange won't hide. Exploring the Montauk and what's inside.
All right, and welcome to the Full Grown Pizza Podcast. This is episode 31. Make sure to hit the like, follow, and subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when we go live. We try to go live every week around 3 p.m. Mountain Time and on Sundays. So make sure to hit the notification bell so you know when we are live. And this episode is going to be on the Montauk Project. Before we get started, I want to shout out Ugly Chews real quick. They're all natural dog treats. We do have a code with them, and if you go to the link that's on your screen, you can get some, I think you get free shipping. And it does support the channel, so check it out. We really appreciate it. And we will get started. Today's episode is going to be led by Tor on the Montauk Project. So whenever you're ready, Tor, let's get going.
Whenever I'm ready. All right.
Yep.
See you guys next week.
All right, next week.
That was an awesome episode.
That was the
I like
intro
these
that we're going to run,
Yes.
and then next week we'll actually, yeah. So, yeah.
Yes, I can go eat a mushroom burger now.
Oh, yeah. Sounds so good.
I don't even think Michael likes mushrooms.
I love mushrooms. Oh, my God. Mushrooms are so good. They're kind of like, I get it if you don't like the texture, like, but the taste and the flavor, oh yeah, they're so good.
I like mushrooms. I always like them with meat because I feel like they enhance the flavor of meats.
Dude, they're so good with like a burger or with
Like pepperoni and mushroom pizza, very good.
Oh man, on your pizza. Yep.
Or ham and mushroom is really good together with.
All right, I changed my mind. This episode's all about food and
Yes,
mushrooms and
We'll eat, like,
no, just kidding.
foods and make ourselves eat.
All right, segue using the food. Go.
Also, I think it would be really good if you had like a jalapeno and pineapple pizza. That sounds really good.
Jalapeno and pineapple. All right, we're losing viewers. We're
Spicy.
losing viewers with your
Yeah, they're
weird
going to go get
takes.
food right now.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
We're losing the one person who was here. It's like, all right, let's see. Oh, no.
Not gonna lie, there was 2 people in the chat. Now there's 1, so we lost them with jalapeno pineapple pizza.
Oh,
It's too.
pineapples. They're like, they put pineapple on their
It's
pizza.
too
We're outta
controversial.
here.
Too controversial.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can bring up politics all you want, but don't talk about pineapple
Yeah.
and pizza.
Like if you watch this podcast and you think that's too controversial, like
Who did
But
you
you
vote for?
you don't listen to any of our conspiracies and stuff. That's not controversial. Okay.
Speaking of, I gotta put this in my medias real quick. So, you
Oh.
guys keep on talking about what, Mike? You know most of these things all the time. What do you know about the Montauk Projects?
I heard it was like related to like they're trying to do like portals or time travel or something like that, or it's like supposed to be a top secret installation on some kind of island up by New Jersey. They found that creature on the beach that was really weird looking, and they thought that came from Montauk. They said there's supposed to be a lot of animal experimentation
Oh.
done there, so a lot of genetic
Interesting.
experiments trying to blend animals together and come out with like some super animal for like warfare or something like that.
Whoa. That actually sounds kind of badass. Like instead of all this other government like trying to like train for freaking telekinesis and all this stuff and mind control and everything, and
And he's got the animals.
have like super soldiers. Why not just have like super beasts, super freaking monster beasts? That would be crazy.
The Russians try to do like a blending of like apes and people and try to make them into their soldiers, but they never got the thing right. So a lot of people say like that. There's this one ape that walked around on its hind legs a lot that said they thought that it was like a hybrid between humans and chimpanzees.
See, I think that would be more effective if warfare was like, you know, the olden days where it was just one side charging after another side. Then I think that would be more effective. But in today's day and age, when you've got freaking like the Air Force and shit, like they're just gonna blast it with missiles, you know. I have a hard time believing that some super monster is gonna,
or at least with like chimps and humans, you could have them using like weapons and stuff like that. If they're highly intelligent, they could have the dexterity, you know.
That's true, and then at least you're not losing people, I guess.
And you get like aimbots and stuff like that. You wouldn't have to worry about them aiming. You just gotta pull it through.
Dude, okay, that makes me think
I mean, they're right away with like drones and stuff.
That makes me think of Neuralink. Like, did you guys see? There's I think it's a Joe Rogan podcast episode where he's talking to one of the Neuralink implant people.
Yeah, like the first guy who got Neuralink.
Yeah, and he's saying how he was playing CS:GO, which is a first-person shooter game, like kind of like Call of Duty, and he was saying that it's almost like cheating. It's almost like playing with an aim assist, because all he has to do is like look at it, and it's just like doing, you know, then he shoots
wherever
it.
the eye goes, that's where it shoots. So.
That's crazy. What if warfare becomes like that, man? Like, what if?
Oh, it's like that with helicopters. They got that kind of stuff, and jets. They got
that's basically what's his name? Soldier 76 in Overwatch.
Right.
He has that fucking Neuralink, so he just auto shoots and fucking.
That's insane.
Aims.
Yeah.
But yeah. You're right about the monster, the Montauk monster. It washed up on the beach, and it's in Long Island. That's where Montauk is. But Montauk didn't make it. It's believed that it comes from Plum Island, which is the island above it, which is another thing where they believe that they are doing Animal Crossing DNA there too.
Animal Crossing? What? There's a little village of animal people up there?
Yes. Well, I'm pretty sure Animal Crossing is going on there, obviously. Because it's a big old facility. You can't fucking...
Could you imagine...
building and not have one Animal Crossing somewhere in that fucking building.
Could you imagine if it was just a bunch of, like, scientists that were all furries, and they were like, you know what, we got to create a freaking human-beast hybrid village up here. And that's the whole purpose.
They're like, man, I want a fucking lady cat.
Yeah. They're like,
I need to get this
need
done.
a cat lady. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Why do we not have these yet? Come on.
They're like the worst.
Yeah, I know.
You're a disgusting cat. Why would you? Whatever.
Yeah, this morning, cat freaking, I don't know if you guys can see, but cat clawed up my face this morning. My nose and somewhere over here and the top of my head. Well, because I was sleeping. And and my head is by the windowsill, and I guess the cat fell or jumped off the windowsill and landed on my head, and then it freaked out that it was on my head, and then it started like scrambling, so it clawed the crap out of me, and then it leapt off my head, and yeah, these are the battle wounds.
Better watch those really good. They can get a lot infected from those things.
I know. I'm gonna have to.
I know.
Put some stuff on it.
Their shit all the fucking time.
Yeah, I know.
They're disgusting. Like, yeah, why do you want to have sex with that?
Could you imagine like them clawing your back up or something and just infected? Goodbye.
That's what it is. They make cat women soldiers. They distract them.
Yeah, distract them. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That'll work.
You ever see that like thing like like North Vietnamese who like have access to internet and they're fucking just spending their time on it, like the soldiers. They
I've heard of that. Yeah.
They're just sitting there watching porn the whole time.
You just give them something to distract them with. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, bringing the cat women.
It goes into the whole like psyop thing. Like, oh man, TikTok, and is China rotting our brains with TikTok and things like that? You know.
Yeah.
It's kind of the whole psyop.
There's a big old conspiracy to that because like
Yep.
They're showing like what they show Americans is like all this fucking meme shit.
Yeah.
They show what they show in China, which is all this education.
Yeah, it's like
shit.
education
like,
and math and like.
training
I wonder if
them
that's
in
real
China
though.
with the TikTok,
Yeah.
Over here, they're fucking trying to brain rot us.
Or like, this is how to twerk if you're a freaking, child. It's like, oh my god, what the heck?
Yes.
Ridiculous.
Kill more videos and send it to your politicians.
Yeah. Yep. Terrible.
Anyways, I believe we have a show.
So the Montauk Project is where they created TikTok and no, I'm just
Project
kidding.
and then making cat women to make people masturbate or something.
Something. Look, we're very accurate and factual and research based here on this podcast. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
ABC checking
I saw something like when I was doing all this research, like somebody was saying it's like basically like if you believe in something, go find something to prove it true. If you don't believe in something, go find something to prove it true. That's basically what it is. Basically, like
yeah, yep,
like if you believe in something, make it something that you know. Find the truth, find the facts for yourself. Don't just take our words for it.
yeah,
Because my knowledge is very approximate. I don't really know everything exactly. I know around the area of the
Yep.
knowledge of it.
Barely.
And my
Yes.
knowledge is based on me just spinning a wheel in my head that's driven by a hamster, and it just comes up with random stuff. So yeah.
Mm. I hope that hamster lands on put batteries in your fucking smoke detector or something.
It hasn't figured that one
This
out yet.
episode, what, 31? I fucking hear that thing going
Yeah.
off.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Anyways, all right, let's go to the thing.
Yeah.
So we left last time. We talked about what was it called? Philadelphia experiment.
Mhm.
Yep.
And I said that like two brothers jumped off and they went into a different time zone. And I said I'll cover that again. And then after that, I'll talk about Montauk. Turns out talking about them is talking about Montauk.
Whoa.
Because where the facility that they landed on in was Montauk.
Oh, what the heck? That's crazy.
And the scientists, and I said like last time, they're like the scientists, like we know who you are, we know what the fuck's going on. It's because the scientist that was running the Philadelphia experiment is the one that is running Project Montauk. His name is I have him in pictures. He is
the first guy.
This is the wrong chat room. No.
Oh, don't show us those pictures. I'm just kidding.
He is Dr. John von Neumann or something like that.
He's on your pictures?
Yes, he's the last one before you said that you're running behind because you're eating delicious food or something.
Yes, this black and white one.
See the guy with the book in his pocket?
They have their names underneath them.
You need to send them to me in order because it's a slideshow.
It's not a slideshow.
It is
All right.
It is a
That's how you put it
slideshow for
together.
me. Yeah, that's how I do it.
All right, fine. Well,
Put it in order. It's not
Just
hard.
Just
So make
look
them
at
figure it out mid podcast.
Yeah. All
It's
right,
fine.
we're looking at him.
Watching.
It's the black and white one, right?
If people are watching. Yes, that's him.
Yep.
And that's important, but that's fucking him.
Okay.
Anyways,
So he's the mastermind behind the Philadelphia experiment and the Montauk Project. Yeah.
kind of.
The guy
There
who's
seems to be a whole
the
bunch of
manager.
masterminds. There's like I guess the other guy's the assistant.
Okay.
All right, so let's get with our slideshow, and you can bring up the first guy.
Okay, first guy.
Okay, I'm watching the YouTube, so it's fucking 30 minutes behind.
Okay, 30 minutes behind.
Okay, so this is the first guy. The first guy's name is Al Balik. Is that what it is? Pronounce it? Okay.
Okay.
So Al Balik was basically, he was like an engineer. And he was living his life and stuff. He was retired. And one day he was watching a show on HBO called The Philadelphia Experiment, which is basically like, a movie about the Philadelphia Experiment.
Yeah.
We talked about it before.
Yep.
And he was just like, wait a minute. So apparently, like a couple years before, so he was having these dreams of being on a ship and activating a device. I believe it was called the water bottle, and it going haywire, and him and his brother running off the ship and jumping into like a time portal. He kept having these
Oh.
dreams. He said like they were vivid dreams, like they were memories.
Yeah.
And when he saw the movie, it start coming back to him, like what was going on. He's like, wait a minute, that guy on the in the movie is me.
What the
Like
heck?
one of the
Yeah.
brothers, and one of the injured brothers was him.
Wow.
So this is how he explains it. So the brothers jumped off the ship. They jumped over to Montauk. The the guy who was running it is like, oh yeah, we know who you are. You're coming with us. And they put him in started putting him into the thing called like it was called the Montauk chair. Basically, it was like the technology they used to make the ship invisible. They were able to make it to could wire around to the electric fields of the human of the sitting in the chair. And
Oh.
apparently, his brother Duncan, uh, Duncan Cameron. Apparently, he was naturally gifted for this stuff. Like he could handle like most of
Oh,
a lot of
really?
the
Okay.
energy stuff.
Yeah.
I wonder if going through the
So
portal helped that out some, you know?
Oh,
yeah.
sure. Yeah. I mean, how would you know until you did that? Like, he couldn't know.
Yeah.
But that's
Whatever,
kind
did
of
something to him,
so.
like align him somehow with the
That
energy, you know?
Yeah, that makes me
Yeah.
wonder that okay, so if the brother did this with them and they're they were both part of this time portal jumping thing in the Philadelphia
Mhm.
experience, did the brother remember this stuff too? Like he knew about this stuff, or he had good memory of it, or
Well, he
was
was
he
an
also
injured dude,
having
was he?
dreams? I guess not. So that's why I don't know.
Yeah.
I wonder.
So it gets really weird.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so the brother is the main focus of their experiments, and so they're experimenting on them. And he said that because he was so talented with it, like he could travel through time and like astral
Oh,
project and like remote see,
yeah.
but his brother could travel through space and into other dimensions, and was like, yeah, the multiverse is real,
Hmm.
and he can go through the
Interesting.
multiverse.
Huh.
And he was able to take his brother with him to different areas. So they went to like the future and different planets. So according to him, he went to the year. They went like 200 or 150 years into the future, and
Hmm.
it was basically post-apocalyptic there.
Wow.
Basically, the Western Hemisphere and Russia and China got into a nuclear war,
Oh
destroyed
no.
Wow.
most of the cities and some of the small cities, and the nuclear fallout caused the polar ice caps to melt. So like all of like California is underwater, the west coast or
Whoa.
east coast is underwater. The Great Lakes have merged into a giant lake,
Hmm.
and
Uh,
he said like this happened according to like they like talked to somebody and said that it happened in the late 2020s that the
what?
war started.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
So
That
you guys
is,
only got a couple of years to fucking
Well, that
piece
changes
it
things for
together.
me. I've been thinking a lot about the future and stuff, and now I'm just gonna kind of do whatever the hell I
yeah, might as well
want.
just go party up, you know?
Yeah. Well, all right. That changes my perspective on things.
But it's not like a fucking like they didn't get blasted back to cavemen. There's still
Yeah.
societies, and they became a little tribal a bit,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
there's like different governing bodies and stuff.
Sure.
But they're saying like yeah, technology was still advancing, but it was slower than before. But they were starting to like develop cures and stuff because
Yeah. For
it was more
radiation problems
because
and
there's like
stuff.
barely any like income, I guess. So basically, curing and like getting like sure people are living and trying to rebuild was more important than fucking making money.
Yeah.
So stuff like
Well, and
cures and stuff actually became like real things.
right. I mean, medical research is so expensive
Yeah.
too. It's like you got to
So they
test
said
it,
like
and yeah.
so they decided to check in on the world. So they went 300 years into the future,
Yeah.
and they said like it was like there's these floating cities, like anti-gravity was like a thing. It was like a
Weird.
major thing. People were
Huh.
up in like the floating cities, and down below they had like robots running the fields and farming and stuff.
Hmm.
And
Wow.
he said like there was no government, there was no like very little crime. It's like like a paradise
Yeah. Wow.
because they said like apparently what they did instead of having a government is they just let AI handle it. So AI handled all the
Oh,
governing, handled all the
interesting.
food. Basically, like,
I
as long
wonder
as
if
you're
we'll get
putting
to that
And when
in,
was
point.
this that he said all this?
he was 300 years into the future.
No, I mean, when did they do this trip into the 300 years? Does it say?
In 1980s.
Wow,
Oh,
that's
wow.
pretty
Yeah.
big. A lot of advances that he thought about that weren't
Man.
even around yet, like AI and stuff like
Right,
that. You know?
because
Yeah.
as somebody from the 1980s, you probably wouldn't be thinking about AI as like this transformational thing.
Or even anti-gravity being a big thing because it's not really something that people can think is realistic. You know,
Yeah, that's kind of crazy actually to think about. Yeah, that's cool.
that's
Huh.
interesting.
So back to like Project Montauk. So Project Montauk, how it has to relate to Stranger Things, obviously, is the Montauk Boys.
Okay.
Now, according to a lot of people, the Montauk Boys were like kids around like 10 to 15 who were either runaways or come from broken houses or whatever. They were brought into the Project Montauk, the Montauk Project, and they were used to, they were testing mind control there.
Huh.
And what they wanted to do was they wanted to get like a army of children, basically, that were fully under their control, and they could be like planted some places because they found out with through Duncan, through his like, I forgot what it called. It was like there's something about the eyes. It was like one of these things like where when he could see through people's eyes, like like the remote viewing and stuff,
Yeah, okay.
he could actually control them too.
Oh, wow.
And
And
And he
that was this
basically,
guy's brother, right? The guy's brother?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow,
So I
that's
guess
crazy.
the idea was basically you basically send these children in to like implant them into like foreign places, and
Right.
then
Then you
they get
control people.
activated, and they can do the stuff like that.
That's pretty freaking awesome. Okay.
But
Like
like
a good movie.
the ones that like were more psychically gifted, they were used to power Duncan when he was in the chair.
Interesting.
Oh.
Like their batteries. Huh?
Yeah, because he would need it for these things.
Yeah.
Now, according to him, every time Duncan did this, like he like jumped to the place or something,
Yeah.
he would open up a different timeline,
Right.
and this was starting to
That
like,
makes sense.
so he just got to make
Yeah.
all these timelines, and
Yep.
they started making paradoxes, and this was starting to destroy stuff. This
Uh-oh.
was bad for the fabric of the
Interesting.
space. But I'm gonna like jumping ahead because I'm like it was all over the place because there's like 3 different videos, so I'm trying
Yeah.
to remember what it was. But he also said that when he was traveling with Duncan, Duncan was like he they're going through time, and Duncan's like we can go to different worlds too. So he took him to another world where it's like basically it was like jagged like mountains, is like desolate. It was like purple sky and stuff. And he's like, what the fuck is this place? And he's like, this is where like the most advanced race in the universe lives.
Yeah.
And he said he found them, and they're like these tall, lanky figures with like almond eyes and stuff. Now, the thing I thought was interesting, these are the figures that they were described when we were talking about the hollow earth that live inside the hollow earth.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're right.
There's also the people that seem to lead the Greys. They a lot of them see on ships with the Greys, and they seem to be the leaders.
Yeah.
Huh.
So this is the Greys. And he said he did another time jump, and it was this like a crazy jungle, and it's like he just like a whole bunch of noise, and it's like full of life. And he could see that the city was made into the jungle itself.
Oh,
And he's
wow.
like, who lives here?
Yeah, that's cool.
And he's like, those guys live here. And there's like, you look behind him, and there's 2 reptilian people behind them.
whoa,
lizard people.
Lizard people.
The lizard people.
Okay.
And he's like,
Oh, it's all making
Yeah.
sense now.
Yeah, it's all coming
he's
together.
like, those guys don't look friendly. And he's like, they're not. We need to get out of here.
Yeah.
So they took him out. Anyways, so what was his name? The Von Dunkenschmidt, Von Neumann, or whatever. He when they come back, he was telling his brother like, yeah, every time your brother jumps, he opens another thing, and it also takes years off his life. Like he's
Oh,
aging
no.
rapidly,
Uh-oh.
and it's killing him. But the problem is like, we like all this information you guys have,
Right.
but the timeline is getting like deteriorated, and we need to repair it. So what we're gonna do is we need to send you guys back to the Philadelphia project, and you
Yeah.
guys need to stop the engine that malfunctions, destroys the ship. But after that,
Doesn't that just create
have you
another
guys?
timeline that also screws up the thing? Because they're going back to
No.
try and fix like the thing that happened. Like that's
No, this timeline's fucked up. So
okay.
we're going to. This is basically our timeline. So they're gonna go back
Oh.
there. They're gonna fix that. And he says, well, then what Duncan's gonna do is he's gonna guys put your consciousness into. He's gonna put himself into himself, I think, and he's gonna put you into somebody named Al Bailey.
Hmm. Okay.
So if we need this information from you in the future, we know where you are. Basically, we're printing you just like little memory drives.
Makes
Whoa,
sense now.
that's really cool. Yeah. That makes me
Yeah.
think, because I always thought that if we did do some kind of timeline jumping or whatever, that you would basically be you would basically be like connecting your consciousness to your other consciousness, like in this other timeline, right? There's a show called Steins Gate, if you've ever seen it. It's an anime, and
Yeah.
part of that is it's about time travel, but one of the main characters, he's got like he's got this other personality where he's a mad scientist. He's like freaking out and he's always talking about things that nobody knows what he's talking about. And you start to discover that like he is this kind of character that has been around a whole bunch of different timelines, and he's jumped around, and so he's got almost this weird like consciousness thing where he's remembering things from other timelines even though they didn't, it's not actually happening or it hasn't happened yet. And so I always thought that if consciousness is something that's external to just our brain, then it's out there, in the ether or whatever. There's something metaphysical to it. And if there's a metaphysical, like, changing dimensions or whatever, or traveling across different dimensions, or different universes or whatever, maybe there is a way to kind of link those consciousnesses together if they're the same thing. So I don't know, that's a cool, I really like that idea of like, oh, you're gonna go back and you're gonna put your consciousness inside of your old self in this other timeline, and you're gonna keep all your information, all your memory and everything. Like, that also is basically immortality, right? Like, if we could just take ourselves, go back in time to another previous version of ourselves, and retain all of our information, then
Or what if you could build like a robot or something that could transfer your consciousness?
Yeah, that's what like the
right.
AI movie, The Singularity, is about. Basically, is putting your conscious into a robot.
Yeah.
So you can like be internal.
It was crazy. I used to work in Vegas doing like a bunch of different events and stuff. And one of the events that I worked, it was like some conference or whatever. And there was this guy, we were just sitting backstage because we were waiting for the conference to be over so we can tear everything down and, load it back up in the trucks and whatnot. And this guy, he was talking about, this was several years ago. This was like 2016 or 17 probably. And this guy was talking about digital immortality, and he had a book, and he was basically talking about how we've already reached the point where we can start uploading people's, essentially their consciousness into a machine, and have their, like, you can keep them stored on this computer. So like, grandma dies, but she didn't actually die. I mean, she died, but she's basically uploaded to this computer all of her, essentially like an AI of grandma or whatever. And it was really crazy. It was really crazy to hear.
I don't know if I want grandma on my computer. It's like, what are you doing?
Well,
You're looking at more porn.
Yeah, she's
You
like,
need
what
to
is
stop.
that?
What is hentai?
It's been what is that, the 7th time today? Oh my god.
Well, she already knows. She's basically just chat GPT and stuff. She knows everything and just like, why am I like this?
Yeah. But it was really interesting to me to hear that guy talking about it, and I wish I saved like who he was or what the what the book was and stuff, but it was really interesting because he was saying like, yeah, within the next like however many years, this is going to be a normal
Now, was
thing,
he
and we're
saying
going
that
to
they
have.
do the consciousness or just the information they had?
He was saying consciousness, but my understanding was just the information, like they're going to create
Yeah, it seems like it'd be
because
easy. I mean, not easy, but more doable just to do the information. But
right
consciousness
because
is like a force, you
we
know?
don't know enough about consciousness and all that stuff to be able to do that kind of thing. So for me, that didn't make any sense. I think he was just using consciousness as a word because it's like a hot button word, you know.
Yeah,
And
that's also interesting because Joe Rogan talks about how he was talking to that guy from Area 51, Bob Lazar, and he
yeah,
said they had a religious book, and he said all the aliens are really interested in was our souls or consciousness. So
yeah,
maybe they're going around trying to collect those things. Maybe they're trying to do experiments on it. Maybe they don't have their consciousness anymore. Maybe they're just like automatons or something like that. You know?
yeah. I was gonna say maybe the aliens aren't conscious. Maybe they're AI that has
Yeah, just maybe.
adapted, and they're trying to figure out like how do we actually become alive? You know, how do we actually have a
Yeah, maybe
soul?
it's like a species that progressed so far that all they are is AI now. They don't have any physical bodies anymore, so they're just trying to get
Yeah,
back to being alive again. So
yeah.
I mean,
That's
a
an
lot of people
interesting
think that
idea.
Greys are just like androids that are cyborgs that aren't actually like living beings.
Right.
That's why they always look the same and they always do the same things and they don't even talk or.
Jamiroquai write a song about this?
I don't know. But
Future made
anyways,
of virtual insanity. Oh. All
It's just
right.
interesting that that's what they're looking for and how much of it's connecting back to the consciousness and stuff like that.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
So anyways,
Let's go through my slideshow so we can see if we make sure we
Oh,
get
sorry,
everything.
keep interrupting.
okay, so we have
That's
Pocketbook
fine.
Guy.
That's what the podcast is for.
He's the
It's
brother
a
of the
fucking name
dude.
tag. He's not wearing a fucking. It's not a pocketbook. You can see that his fucking jacket underneath there.
To me, it looks like a book sticking out of his pocket, like he's gonna
It
sell
is
you on
And his
huge.
something.
name's Al Like, and he's a fucking.
Yeah.
Well, he's not really the reason. The other guy is. All right. So this is Montauk. Montauk was once like an Air Force facility,
Yeah.
and they had one of the largest antennas on there. So people have been saying that like obviously like the antenna has been activated and it's been causing like wildlife to act really weird around it.
Huh.
Like he would run out from the forest and then run into the main street and just run right into the windows and stuff. It would make them go crazy.
What the heck?
Hmm.
And the theory is that they were experimenting with the sound frequency to find the right one where they could manipulate people or,
Yeah.
brainwash them.
Right.
And that's why they chose this area because of they had the largest thing. And this was after the war, so they didn't need it anymore. So it's basically kind of like a
Yeah.
shut down
Makes
facility.
sense.
But
Yeah.
they still had this giant antenna that they could use.
That's a good idea.
Now the interesting about this thing was that basically the facility was like shut down. And they said that there's nothing underneath it, but people have been like looking around and they had like this guy, he got really into the area because like one time he was like at the beach when he was a kid and he started finding these strange metal bits around. And as soon as he started finding that, like some guys in like uniforms came down and shut down the beach and knocked them, got them all out of there. And he became
Whoa.
obsessed with the area. So
Yeah.
he'd been looking around it after it was like shut down and stuff. And he found like several manholes to the area, which he found suspicious. But he brought like
Yeah.
somebody who had like a one of those like sonar things so they could look underneath.
Uh-huh.
And they said that they found like things of concrete like 20 like feet down underneath the land.
Whoa.
And it's just like, why is there this there if there's
Yeah,
no like
what's going on down
nothing down
there?
there?
Yeah.
And the thing is like this place was like pretty much like deserted besides like, the skeleton crew and whatnot.
Yeah.
But there's like records of like receipts of like monthly food deliveries that was like
DoorDash.
like
There's
several
DoorDash
tons
and
of food. Yes,
yeah.
they door dashed a ton, like 6 tons of
DoorDash.
fucking food there.
The
And it's
freaking
just like,
DoorDash driver is like
if this
swimming
facility
across
is
the
not
thing.
being used, or basically it's like on like a small skeleton crew, why do you guys have so much food here?
Yeah.
They
And
hungry. They just
they
hungry.
hungry.
Yeah.
So like, so that's what they're saying there. So they believe that it's actually this. That's just the top, and there's a huge facility underneath.
I mean,
And
here's the
using.
thing, right? Like, if you are living on that island, you work there, you're a skeleton crew, whatever, you got like nobody, you got like 3 buddies. You're probably bored. I mean, what are you gonna do? What do people
They're
do when they're
eating
bored?
their
They
fillings.
eat. Yeah, exactly. So
6 tons? I don't care how much people there are. That's a lot of food.
maybe they want to be culinary experts, and so they're
I mean, if
experimenting.
you ever play like
Making
the Firewatch
That's
thing,
what
like
that's the real Montauk experiment. They're experimenting culinary skills,
Yeah, making
trying to
recipes
make
and trying new things out.
recipes. Yeah, exactly.
All
Okay.
right, next slide.
Okay.
Get your jaws out of the fucking tons of food.
Oh, it's Gordon Ramsay's dad.
That is
No, just
interesting
kidding.
that they would do that, and I mean, it makes sense that if there was some kind of like connection to the portal down there, that they would want to keep that. So they'd probably try to, make the facility look unused anymore, bury everything underneath the ground, so they could keep using the
Well, and you
whatever
got to think
connection
like,
they had to portals there.
It's just a
I mean,
show.
it wouldn't be hard to make a portal
Yeah.
into one of those big basements or storerooms. You don't have to make an exit to it because you just portal into it,
well, and also if you've got
The
a
problem
bunch
with
of
portals, though, is that you got to use a lot of little boys. To
that's
power 'em,
exactly
apparently.
that's what I'm
that
saying.
doesn't sound good at all. Either way,
If
no
you've
matter how you
got
say it.
yeah, if you've got a whole bunch of psychic kids there and you've got a whole bunch of stuff, I mean, you got to feed them. So
Yeah, but what if you
Because
could
they
do like a
hungry.
portal that's
They
stable
hungry.
and you can
No,
keep
no, no,
everybody in
no.
the portal, and then you don't
Here's
have to
the
make a big
fun fact
entrance?
about Project Montauk is that you don't have to feed the kids because they're more powerful if you have them starve.
Oh,
The
yeah.
fear, the starvation.
Yes, starvation and torture works really good on psychic people, apparently.
you
Especially
It
do
worked
little
on Stranger Things, so
you do like a
Well, if you're trying to
fasting.
brainwash people, that's what a lot of things.
Yeah,
I mean, if
that's
you
a good way
look
to
at
do
like
it.
certain cults, I'm not gonna mention any of them because some of them are active and they're very powerful and they have celebrities working with them.
yeah,
But,
you
like,
want to tear the person down before you
Yeah.
start
yeah,
building them
you
back
tear
up
them
how you
down.
want them. Yeah,
Yeah, you
Yeah,
build
that's how
down their
the military
structure to
does it.
build up your own.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, they learn that from the military, so I mean that's what they do when they go
Yeah.
to base camp or basic training. They tear them down and build them back up again.
So this guy's name is Preston Nichols, and he is the reason why we have a show called Stranger Things. Not really. It was the brothers that wrote the series, but
Yeah.
he's the reason why the show was inspired because, like Al Blakeman, he also, like when he went to Montauk, because I forget why he went to Montauk, but he went there with Duncan Coulson, our
Okay.
timeline Duncan Coulson,
Okay.
and they started having memories of the facility, and they're like, "Wait, what the hell? We never even
What?
been here before."
Wow.
But he could like go walk around and he like remember where like things were, and he said like there was like one time there was when they went there was like a homeless guy. This was after it was abandoned,
Yeah.
and he was like talking about how the facility like went to shit after the beast was released. And he's like, "What are you
What?
talking about? What beast?" He's like, "What do you mean? You're the one that fucking let it go." And he's
Oh
like,
my
"What?
god.
Like we're the fucking like the facility assistant manager here."
What
He's
the
like,
heck?
"What the fuck?" So he started like
Whoa.
researching it, and then like he started remembering all this stuff. Anyways, he wrote a book. I forget what the book was called. Like I said,
Stranger Things. No, just kidding.
Yes, he wrote a book called Stranger Things.
And they made a movie out of it. Or
Yeah.
a series.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's weird. So okay, so the Montauk place it's like got this portal to other timelines and stuff that they keep activating. So this was our version of this guy who came to Montauk, who apparently from another timeline had to like did all that
I don't.
stuff.
Like, it's fucking crazy, man. It's
Weird.
like all fucking
Like
all
the
over the place.
timelines are like they have that
They're like
timeline where they're
blended
doing
right
the
there or
experiments.
something. Yeah.
We have this timeline where Montauk wasn't really a big thing, but they're like bleeded over into our timeline, and so
It's
maybe,
basically
there's a
like
lot.
the Mandela effect. Like people are talking about how like it's actually just let the dimensions bleeding over on each other
Yeah.
because we make too many dimensions that are totally close to each other, and they start to blend and bleed, and people remembers different shit differently, or like they unlock different
If
memories.
it's the same person, you know.
So
Or
he
he's got
wrote a
another
book.
version of himself running around, just
Yeah.
He called
still out
the
there.
book was called An Experiment in Time. That was the book that he did, but he was like part of the thing, and
Did he write it as a
yeah,
nonfiction? It's a nonfiction book?
no, he basically wrote it like, hey, I remember this shit. I don't
Yeah.
like there's this stuff going on, and I remember it even though I don't remember. I'm living a double life,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
this is what my second life did, and it's fucked up, but I'm gonna fucking come clean with it.
Whoa.
And it's weird. It's like, anyways,
Yeah.
so when he was talking about this shit, so he was talking about it, and he was going on tour, or, talking with it with Edward Duncan. No, Duncan Cameron.
Yeah.
And when he was on tour, Al Balick was there too,
Okay.
and he saw them, and he got a connection with Duncan Cameron. He's like, I feel like we've met before.
Yeah.
And they were starting talking, and that's when they realized that they were the brothers
They
before.
were both there. Yeah, okay. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Like I said, it's fucking crazy.
What the hell? I need like a freaking I don't
Yeah,
know. I need like a spider web thing to know like the connections between everybody.
Yeah,
like
bring up the image of fucking Charlie Day in fucking front of the board.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I need. I'm just like, what? This guy and that guy is connected with this guy and this timeline and what?
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we know anything else about the beast that was mentioned?
I'm getting there. Keep on going.
Okay.
Next slide.
This is our dude we talked about in the beginning.
Yeah. Well, he's next coming up. So this guy, he actually was part of the Manhattan Project.
Mm.
So everyone knows about that. If you don't, Tyson will cover it next. You know, it's not a conspiracy theory.
No, it's not. That one actually happened, guys. So
anyway, according to the record, in 1956, he died of cancer, which is weird because in 1986, he welcomed the brothers to Montauk.
What?
So people believe that in 1956, he went to a government witness protection program where they faked his death so he could work in Montauk in the secret thing, because they knew they were going to do some bad shit, because basically it's like, hey, we gotta abduct little kids
Yeah,
and
that's
torture
pretty
them,
fucked up. Yeah.
fucking powder these fucking portals,
Yep.
so we can play with shit.
Wow.
Now according to a lot of people, a lot of boys have been coming up and being like, hey, I was one of the Montauk boys. So there's that crazy thing, and basically they're saying
that sounds like another episode. There's the Montauk Boys and like what they're saying and stuff. Like that's
probably could be.
That's kind of
Or
crazy.
it just be like the Montauk area and just talk about the Montauk Boys and Plum Island, I guess.
Yeah.
But they said since the 70s, the government has been having the ability to bend time.
Wow.
As they wanted to.
Huh. That's
and
wild.
they keep on thinking, and they say this is not what they've been saying, but I just thought about this right now. Basically, it makes sense. It's basically like you're being human trafficking, and it's like you need fucking apparently young men or whatever.
Yeah, apparently.
That's how you're fucking going to be doing that stuff, and you just blame it on somebody. That's the foreign country that's taking them.
That's
oh
crazy.
yeah, fucking they took them. We didn't put them in the basement and fucking making them fucking do shit down there.
Right.
They've been time to our will.
Wow.
But that's a conspiracy, obviously. That's a tinfoil hat moment right there.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah.
That's wild. Huh.
Oh yeah, so the Montauk Beast.
Yeah, the Beast.
The Beast.
Not Mr. Beast. Just the Beast.
So, you gonna bring up the image? Already.
Yeah. You ready? For the Beast, guys, ready? Here it comes. Rawr. That's the Beast.
It's your dog.
Oh yeah, that's my dog.
That's the beast. Real picture, obviously.
Yes,
It's totally
real.
not AI generated and doesn't look like a fucking image at all.
No, he is a robotic Bigfoot with tentacles. I like it.
He's robotic? Not
Well,
supposed
he's
to be
got a
robotic.
big red Iron Man thing in his body.
Yeah, I guess so. Whatever AI fucking came
Yeah.
up with.
Yeah.
Crazy.
They didn't want to play
That's
along
cool.
with me.
Yeah.
Anyways, so the beast, or what they refer to him as Junior, he was the what do you call it? What does he call it when basically project's done and basically you're just self-destructing everything?
Like the cover up?
No, not like a cover.
Yeah.
Basically, like the fucking, like where everything just like you just like burn all the files. It'd be like it's done.
It's kind of a cover up.
I don't know. That's what it makes you think
No,
of.
it's not a cover up. It's basically like
You're just trying to get
termination.
rid of it. You're done with
Destroying
it.
evidence.
Yeah, whatever. He was like the
The final project, and you're just done with your thing at that point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Basically, I don't know what the word is, but that's basically what it is. It's basically like, hey, this project has reached its end. We're summoning this thing to destroy everything. And
Okay.
so this is basically, it was considered basically a creature from a different dimension or realm
Yeah.
or whatever. And what basically, when they were using Duncan was able to actually, you could like create stuff. Like if he had enough power from like the little boys.
Dude, this
He could
guy's
create stuff.
crazy. All he needs is a bunch of little boys. It's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a special
guy-
chair and little boys, and you can do anything.
He's like, I can do
You set
anything
your mind
if
to
I've got
it.
enough little boys.
Like-
Jeez.
Well, the thing is, like, he probably learned this stuff from the Gray because they could like manipulate things on like a molecular level also through their
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention that like Montauk was actually powered by reverse technology or reverse alien technology because according to them, they got UFOs and like we talked about crashes before,
Yeah.
and they found out that like inside the cockpit and stuff, it's just basically a chair, and everything just ran by the pilot's mind. So
Huh.
they reversed the technology
Yeah.
to do this stuff. Anyways,
Wow.
so they they had the Van Cooth or whatever guy. He had a failsafe and Duncan. And basically what he said was when he activated the catchphrase or the phrase, the time is now, Duncan would summon this junior into
Huh.
the facility and he basically would just basically destroy everything and prevent anybody from actually coming in ever again because
Yeah.
fucking crazy
Wow.
monster.
Right.
Fucking interdimensional Bigfoot. You don't want to fuck with that shit.
So what'd they do with the beast after that? After everything's destroyed, what happens to him?
Okay, so after Duncan put his stuff in thing, he put his consciousness into himself and his brother and everything. Von Kuss activated him and he summoned the beast, Junior to start destroying stuff. The thing is like he like summoned him into the woods, so he came from the woods and came into the facility and basically
Okay.
cut them off and worked his way down.
Yeah.
And basically what they did is basically just shut everything behind him. So anybody that was left in
Right.
there was basically just killed, like all the boys and
Poor
stuff,
boys.
all
Yeah.
any faculty or anything. So basically that's what they did.
So the Montauk boys,
Do we think that they're Montauk boys that survived the Junior attack, or are they Montauk boys that escaped or something beforehand?
I don't know.
Or, I don't know.
We'll
We'll have
check
to
it
look
out.
them
Yeah, we gotta look them up.
Okay.
They're not part of the subject.
These are some of the questions we need to answer.
So
next time.
people say that the facility they actually have there's like basements, and if you go down deep enough, it's just cemented off. or it's like there's too much rubble or something. That's
Yeah.
what they said. It happened. It's basically the beast came in and they went down and they cemented him off, and he just basically down there and he wreaked a havoc and nobody knows what happened. They just shut the door and they don't know what's going on behind the door.
They just
It's
kind of
fucking
sealed him off.
Schrodinger's cat, whatever's
Yeah.
happening there. The beast could be still alive down there, or he could be dead, or he could just like it died at the fucking first step or something.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't know. They just shut the door and
Wow,
locked
that's
it up.
crazy. I wonder if someone like Elon Musk could just say, "All right, I'm gonna buy this whole place with like, $10 billion, and I'm going to open it all up and crack it open and explore it and check it out myself." Boom. That would be crazy.
I know that Kamala needs to come up with some money.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. Maybe one day, because that's kind of what happened with Skinwalker Ranch. Is you had this like super rich dude who's just like, all right, I'm gonna buy this place, and I'm going to hire a team to experiment on it and research it and check it out. And I wonder if you could do that with this place, or if it's still
Maybe.
active government.
I don't know if it'd be
whatever.
very viable or like.
I don't know.
Yeah.
At the
It'd be
very
interesting if, like,
least, you could salvage all the materials or whatever, and then figure
if
out.
there is materials, I mean,
Right.
who
that's
knows if
fair.
it's just down there? I mean, this is all conspiracy theories, so
Yeah.
Junior may not even be real, and they just cleared out
All
the
I'm
facility
saying,
after they fucking left.
all I'm trying to get to is if you're a billionaire and you're watching this show right now, I'm giving you some options of where you can spend your money. That's all.
Yeah, you can't take it with you, buddy.
And if you
Yeah.
do it, we'll give you an exclusive guest spot on the Full Grown Pizza podcast, explaining to us what you've discovered. Yep.
Yes,
All
I
right.
would like to be the 5th team that goes down there, not the 1st.
Yeah.
Not
And
the
then can we
2nd.
join the 5th team? that
Maybe the
goes down
3rd,
there?
but I like the 5th.
Yeah.
When everyone sets up lights and stuff.
Yeah,
and
once you have a
everyone's down
facility
there.
down there, I wanna check it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You can be the 3rd. Don't
Yeah.
be the 1st.
Yeah.
Just don't be the 1st.
Yeah, I don't want
As
to go down and
exciting
meet
as it
Junior in
is.
person.
Yeah.
No, thanks. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so that's crazy. And then that kind of led to Stranger Things and the whole like
Yeah.
motivation for that.
I guess Junior's a demigorgon or something.
Yeah. Creepy.
Interesting.
Wow. That is a wild
I'm
story.
This actual fact, or just some crazy stories from there.
Yeah. I
Like
don't know.
3 people made up.
Yeah, there's
And, like-
three people that all seem to kind of.
Well, they have 3 people, and then they have all the fucking Montauk boys
The
who
thing
they,
that
added to it.
the thing that I wonder about, and maybe it's like, okay, Duncan is the main like time traveler dude, right? Or the guy that used
Yeah.
the chair. So if there's interviews with his brother, how come Duncan hasn't done any interviews and stuff? Like, is he just too invested in this? He doesn't want to be getting, he doesn't want to expose it or whatever, or he's aware of some timeline that, that could be bad, so he's trying not to talk about it, or like, I don't know, how come he hasn't come out and said anything? Because a lot of this stuff revolves around him.
He might have been dead or
Or
something.
maybe he's dead because he took too many years off his life, I don't
Yeah.
know. It's possible. Weird. All right. Well, that was a good episode. Man, we
Yeah.
talked a
very
lot about it.
interesting.
That was a really
It's
interesting
funny because
thing.
like Montauk is basically like several different projects all together. I mean, you have
Oh, yeah.
Project Gateway. You got the mind
Freaking
control,
mind
the astral
control
projection,
and
the fucking
Time travel and dimension
using
travel.
drugs for like experimenting with drugs and like audio things.
You got
Like-
culinary training.
It's like not beyond the realm of fucking disbelief because there's fucking proof that
Well,
they've
there's
done this
proof
all
that the
shit
government
before.
has tried these things, so it would
Yeah.
make sense if they
It would
had a
it makes
conglomeration
less
of them.
sense if they just did it in one place. They'd be like, no,
Right.
do this all over the place. We want to see what everyone else says.
Yeah,
and stuff.
exactly.
You Montauk,
That's
look more
wild.
into this fucking Philadelphia bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh, one thing that I forgot to mention that they said that apparently everybody that was on the Eldridge that survived basically the first or the second time travel thing,
Mm-hmm.
they found that they were extremely susceptible to mind control.
Oh.
So that's why they kept on sticking with the Project Eldridge or the fucking Philadelphia experiment and
Yeah.
kept on looking into it.
That
Because
makes
that's what the main
sense.
thing was to see if they can like easily make people mind controlled, and you mind control a soldier. You're like, hey, I don't want to fight, or you're like, hey, get your fucking boss instead.
Well, and it's like it kind of goes back to the Neuralink thing where if they're mind controlled, maybe it's a lot easier to control a video game character and tell it to do something than it is for you to do it yourself, right? So
Yeah.
it's like maybe that's the mentality behind it is we can control everybody's brains so everyone's on the same page and everyone's
And that's how I feel
operating.
like about like operating like a. I know no one would want to do it because it's like $1 million fucking thing, but I feel like it'd be easier to control a jet or not with like a remote than to
Yeah,
actually fly it yourself.
right. Like
Or
drone
you'd be like more
technology.
able to risk stuff because you're not in the fucking thing.
Right, you don't have a
And
person
everybody knows how to
who's-
fucking use a fucking PlayStation controller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always think that the future of war is going to be like people playing StarCraft and they're just
Yeah.
gonna like manage the resources
It's
and
drones fighting.
it's
I mean, it's already
drones and
started.
robots and yep, and you're basically just gonna hire world-class StarCraft and Warcraft players and they're going to
Oh man, Korea's gonna go crazy.
I know.
South
Good. I
Korea.
mean, they're an ally of ours, so I guess that's a good thing.
Hey, government, if you want us to get online with South Korea, fix our internet.
Yeah.
And no reason we should be third world with fucking internet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody's fucking way ahead of us on the internet. Stop the fucking
Well,
monopoly. Stop the monopoly.
yeah, that game sucks. No, just kidding. Just kidding. All right.
Monopoly destroys families.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, anything else you want to mention on that? I think that's a pretty wild story. Pretty wild
No.
conspiracy.
I'm pretty sure I can come back with more stuff, especially if I look
Yeah.
further into it.
Yeah.
I think I will. I'll do the Montauk Boys in Plum Island next.
Yeah, it sounds cool.
I like how I'm just keep on this. I just pulled this one string and just fucking lead me down this whole fucking rabbit hole.
Yeah,
It's like, oh,
seriously.
shit,
You're like,
where's
what
this
the
going?
fuck? Where
Where the fuck did this
guy-
go? Where the fuck did this go?
Yeah, I love those things. That's like my favorite.
Yeah, like I said, I thought
content.
I thought I was just gonna cover Montauk and just be like, oh yeah, I was gonna talk about what happened to the brothers, and it's like, oh wait, the brothers are way deeper into fucking Montauk than I thought they were.
Yeah,
I just thought they like landed there and then they came back, but they're like,
that's
no.
wild.
Fucking. Apparently, one of them was like the fucking messiah of fucking psychics, and they fucking used him
Yeah.
to fucking open portals and fucking
Jeez.
time travel and shit,
Do you
and learn
think
about different worlds and aliens and stuff.
that was a coincidence? Like it just happened that this happened to be the freaking, overlord of psychics that was just the best psychic on the planet. He just happened to be the guy at this Philadelphia experiment that happened to go through the portal, that happened to, run the facilities and all that stuff.
Like, I don't think it's just like, hey, he's a fucking messiah. It's basically, hey, you're actually pretty good at this. We're gonna focus on you.
But he turned out to be like really, really, really good at it from what I'm getting, because they used him to travel to different timelines across different dimensions, to freaking different planets.
Like the only thing is basically it's like he probably had like a lot more salt in his diet than everybody else because he could handle electric shocks more better of the chair. He let handle electricity better.
So he
which
ate
made
lots
him
of crackers and
So
chips.
yeah, he is a lot easy. He liked those fucking rations on the ship, the saltines. Like
He's
couldn't
just the one
understand
guy
other
who
food.
liked the
He
food on
had
the
to eat the
ship.
crackers.
Yeah.
That's all he could eat.
Yeah.
He just lived off crackers and peanut butter the whole time because he hated the food.
So what you're saying is, if you want to be a time traveler, you better start eating a bunch of chips and crackers and sodium.
If you want to be a time traveler, probably don't, because you apparently need a lot of chips and You need a special chair that electrocutes you
But
while
there's
little
lots of
boys think
variety
about
of
you in
chips
a
out
different
there. You
room.
never get bored.
Yeah, I don't know how many little boys you need. Probably like 5.
I guess you
just
need
to
lots of
be
little
thinking about
boys.
you.
Yeah, maybe time
Yes.
travel's like not the greatest like thing to get into. Plus, it takes years off your life every time you do it. So maybe, I don't know, maybe second guessing the whole time travel
Plus,
thing.
I know, like
Yeah.
apparently, you like need like some starvation and torture. It doesn't sound like it's fun.
Just a little bit, but you
Like
know.
apparently, when he went like 302 years into the future, he stayed there for 2 years with his brother.
Oh.
And when they came back, it like
Well, yeah,
no time
300
passed at
years
all.
seemed nice, right? Because 300
Yeah.
years had the floating cities. Yeah, I would stay for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Apparently, they said like he was a tour guide for one of the anti-gravity like museums or something.
He was a tour
When he was
guide? What the heck?
Yeah.
Could you imagine like
brother was.
walking
One
up to
of
the
them
museum
was.
and it's like a freaking hologram of you like walking around telling you everything? That would be nuts. Wow.
No, he worked there as a tour guide. He's not like he
Oh, he
went there.
worked
like,
there.
Oh, there's me. He's just like,
That's cr-
I need to just contribute to society, but I don't know much about the society. I can fucking show people around this fucking museum.
Oh, that's a good idea though, because if you need to learn more about your time, the time period that you're in, and you need a job and you need stuff like, yeah,
Go
go
to
work
the
as a
museum.
tour guide.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're learning with them.
you'll learn a lot of stuff. That's wild. Yeah. That'd get really confusing though, like jumping back to your time after spending so much time there, because then you'd be like,
Yeah.
man, what, all these different things have happened in my life, and what was this timeline and that timeline, and,
Yeah.
that's crazy. But, anyways, let's end the episode there. That's pretty wild. That was a cool story. That
I'm
was
hungry.
episode 31 on the Montauk Project. So next time, I don't know what we're going to do, but I'm going to be deciding that. And then eventually we'll probably do something on the Montauk Boys, because that sounds interesting. And cool. So if you're interested in this story or any other conspiracies or whatever, let us know in the comments down below. What you guys think about this conspiracy and what other things you want us to cover next. And make sure to hit the like and follow and subscribe button, and check out all the links and stuff in the description below. Check out Ugly Chews, all natural dog treats, and we'll see you guys.